Hey brothers, in this energy transfer, I'm going to attempt to remove a lot of negativity, at least from you, or remove energy pollution which you probably don't realize that you have, and perhaps remove a bit more negativity from the space around you. That's so that I at least have an increased chance of reaching you. And then I'm going to be giving the whatever energy I can for a peak appreciation gesture with this, what I believe is a jasper crystal. Now, I believe that the neutrally feeling brainwaves and neutrally feeling feelings and neutrally feeling crystal energies may be some of the most important, because most often I believe that progress in your life and your mental well-being is like it's mostly either via boring stuff or via these activities that aren't bombastic, that are just these simple activities and these simple acknowledgements that are bespoken the times that we live in today, because of course we live in a culture where people just don't acknowledge each other as much. Like you go into social medias and people are just trying to one up each other, which is why I'm glad I figured out how to protect against posting on Instagram, which I physically cannot post on Instagram now that I figured out the solution to it. Although, aside from the social medias, because people just live like drones, most people just live like drones nowadays, we mostly don't get people actively just like poking you and saying, can I have a fist bump, or can I, or like give each other a hug, and spanning into a different area. We as human beings, that was, according to Jane McGonigal, there was a time in human history where we went through famine, and the only way to survive that famine and pass the boredom of starvation for 20 to 30 years was the people basically invented these games to play with basic things that would be powerful enough to distract them, as morphine can be as a painkiller. Like curiosity can be up to 8 times. No, that's not this. Curiosity can be as powerful as morphine when it's deep curiosity. And just because of phones and probably because of jobs, we don't often get to just play these basic games. We're very deprived of it. I have the option to go and play chess. I believe it is at the library, although for some reason I just haven't been able to go there. And there's that when you're familiar with either physical loneliness or emotional loneliness, what can often happen is, because you're familiar with being alone, you can struggle. I used to, although I don't really struggle to do it anymore, to get to these social events. So the intention for this state transfer and crystal energy transfer, because this has been, I was using this about a week ago to accomplish one of my current goals, which is to get deep hugs, because I don't think many people know that if you want to change your life, having deep hugs for 20 minutes is such a powerful way, scientifically speaking, to release enough oxytocin to basically basically get a welding iron and weld your neurons to melt them down, and then you can, that 20 minutes can produce enough love to basically just restructure the behavioral patterns in your brain so that you can change patterns, change a lot of patternings in perhaps in a very short amount of time. But people who get into relationships often are able to, according to David Snyder, change their whole lives around within a few weeks just to restructure it, because the structure of how they behave through their life has to change. And we don't get that nowadays. I wish that I felt like I had the emotional freedom to go and hug my mother for 20 minutes just to play these board games with my family. Although when we have this much illness going around, you'd basically just rather cry than actually go and do some of these things with them. Last time I played Monopoly with my dad, I got the ultimate victory, and it just out of pure luck, because instead of just winning against my dad, I forced the entire thing. Like I bankrupted the bank and then bankrupted my father once all the money out of the Monopoly bank was dried up. My dad had no choice but to lose in that, and it took a long time just to get the rounds finished where I had, 10,000 in Monopoly notes. So I think the number came to, 18,000. Ultimate victory there. Although, speaking in terms of life force and gaining more life force, these games, like with emotional loneliness being up to 8 times more damaging than smoking a pack of cigarettes per day, which, people tell you that smoking, vaping kills you. So emotional loneliness is, I'm far more concerned if you feel really damn lonely than if you smoke. And I've never smoked. And just having a small level of fat on you is worse than smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. It's quite hysterical just how well designed we are to survive really anything. So the objective for this peak appreciation transfer is like, we may be living in the best times to be alive because of the resources that we have on the internet and how easy that makes things, being one of our biggest drawbacks at the same time, just because we're designed to do the most convenient stuff that's available to us as well. This state transfer I'm intending is, I probably am going to start, I'm probably just going to trim this into 2 videos, because most of you, unless you're committed, probably you probably haven't watched this far. You probably haven't watched this far. Like if there's one of the things in the world that I'd really want to, aside from what's in my 4 core motivations, which I can get to using somewhat of I came up with an advanced method for you knowing what your core motivations are. This state transfer, when I trim it to here, for which I'm going to go like this, just so that it's far easier for me to spot where to trim the video to. I'm gonna start again. Hey brothers! In this state transfer, I'm going to aim to help you clear your aura of negativity through my vibration ball that has in the middle of it my rainbow obsidian that contains quartz, tuning fork, and after that I'm going to intend to give you the image of a peak state of appreciation transfer with this crystal, which I was using to help me have more of the basic communal acknowledgement that we are quite deprived of in today's time. This crystal, I believe, helps you with those small things that we're designed for as communal beings that are just desperately hard to get in today's times. And I was using this to help me basically hug people for, the goal is to hug people for 20 minutes. That's a really hard goal to achieve in today's time, so just hugging a person for like 30 seconds, like having a good meaningful hug with someone, is going to really enhance your life force, because given that emotional loneliness is 8 times worse according to Asher Agarwal's book Belong, 8 times more damaging than smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. Like most people are just smoking like flip nowadays, and it's like smoking is not really the thing I worry about. The thing I more worry about is being fat and being emotionally lonely, and more so being emotionally lonely. So the main state transfer of this video is going to be to help you have that, although also, like, it can mean the world to a person who's being conditioned into being a drone and into indifference. To have someone just tap you on the shoulder or something similar, and just give you a basic acknowledgement, a basic bespoke acknowledgement. Like Amy just tapping me on the shoulder just so that she could fist bump me. That made a deep impact on me. Like someone just bespokely coming out and just showing a basic level of care can often just almost shatter the glass of, let's put it in a technical term, behavioural pattern. Well, not technical term, but basically just make a really damn deep impact on you that kind of shakes you on the inside. The other main purpose for this, I believe, is to help you just have basic things like board games and card games in your life that they may take quite a bit of time to do, although we're designed to have these things in our lives, and sadly don't have as much of those in today's time. So let's see if we can hey or up a bit so that it might be easier for me to reach you. And I'll also ask Archangel Metatron to put a protective veil around you, lightning blue veil around you, to help clear up your space as well. Ask him yourself, right now. Metatron, please protect me against the negativity that's happening around me. Afraid of hitting my camera with this tuning fork. feeling so blissful for no reason. Just try to go. Just keep trying to feel as relieved as you can. Because what you probably also don't know that what is happening right now, if you can receive this, is that through the energy is traveling through a line of focus between you and me, and that if the more similar that we are in how we feel, in other words, state, how similar, the more similar our states are to each other, the more beneficial this is going to be for you. Metronomes. Use beneficially here, not so beneficially everywhere else. Alright. Now that at least I'm in a blissful state, like I know that I've only been doing that for a few minutes. Let's move. I might just also just cut this video from this point onwards just to include this next energy transfer. Let's go on to the appreciation transfer. Like get someone to give you one of those bespoke acknowledgements that we almost never get nowadays. Like go ahead and just give your bus driver £5-10, like a meaningful amount that can at least do something in today's time off high prices. Like give them enough cash to order a drink or two. I know it's bad, although it's a bit better than the indifference that they're undoubtedly going through. Trigger some hyper reality. And ask Archangel Mary or Archangel Chamiel to assist you in absorbing this and receiving it in the energy world and in actual behavior, so that something actually happens. I'm just feeling so many ripples of this all throughout my body. More so my legs and arms, back of my head. You know, this might actually be the replacement. This might actually be a prerequisite for replacement of meaningless sex. think about it. It doesn't feel sexual whatsoever to me. Although, you know, there's shut up, Lewis. Wishing you a present state of heightened bliss.